One of the other things that we measure when you fill in a personality questionnaire is your preferences, and that's a preference for thinking and feeling, and we measure these on a bipolar scale. This is also a bit like a piece of string. I might prefer thinking or task, it's quite close, or I might prefer feeling or more people-orientated interactions. So on this piece of string, again, I'll move along it. If I naturally, first inclination is to prefer thinking, then I would be thinking something like, it's the logical thing to do, let's do it. If I move along more into my feeling side, I might say, well, hold on a minute, how will I feel if we do this? How will other people feel? Will they feel involved? Will I want them involved? Whereas if I was more in task, would I worry about them being involved? No, I'd be more worried about getting the task done. Interestingly, both get the task done, but from a different perspective. So some people get the task done by saying, for example, a manager would say, if they were more into thinking, objectively, task-related, they would say, let's get this job finished and we'll go for a drink. Somebody who was more into feeling, people who were more subjective decisions would feel it more, and they would say, why don't we all go for a drink and we'll talk about how we get the job done. So it's a very different approach. But you know what? They both get the job done. So there's no ideal way of getting the job done. It's their way, it's your way, and it's my way. They might be different, but we'll get the job done. So task, thinking or task, feeling or people, are parts of bipolar scale, and we have both within us, but we have a preferred route to start off with. So if we naturally start off in the feeling area, that's where we will start, and then we'll move into thinking and task. So it doesn't mean because I prefer feeling, say, that I don't think. Of course I do. It's got nothing to do with the quality of feeling or the quality of thinking. It's to do with how we make our decisions, how we react to the outside world to get things done. Do we put the people first, or do we put the task, the job first, and then think how it'll all work? Both routes are good. There's no good or bad in that. But we have a preference, and these are called the rational preferences. And again, they're measured on a bipolar scale, which is a movable feast that we move up and down on. Those on the task thinking side of the bipolar scale would tend to be more objective, be able to stand outside the situation, to be able to get the thing done without using emotion. They actually don't like to involve emotions in things. Those on the feeling people side of the scale don't stand outside of it. They put themselves in there, and how would I feel is a key question. Now, it's not because they're all heart, it's because they know that if they had to do something unpopular, those people who have a strong feeling preference would feel that badly, because it impacts on their equanimity, if you like. It actually upsets their apple cart as well as the person who's been disciplined, if you like, or perhaps people made redundant. If somebody who was on the thinking task side had to make people redundant, then they have the objective, the bottom line is, sorry, but somebody has been made redundant. It doesn't mean they don't hurt, it doesn't mean they don't feel bad about it, but the job's got to get done. Somebody on the feeling people side hate any unpleasantness, hate having to do that job. They do know it has to get done, they will get it done, they'll do it in a different way, but they might hurt more about it, but they might actually hurt more for themselves than for the people that have gone. So it's a bipolar scale that we all move along, that we move from task to feeling, or from feeling to task. We're neither one or the other, we use both.